Welcome to the Weird Gun Game Show. I'm your host, BubbaTV24, and today I'm bringing my top 10 favorite guns submitted by the community for last week. Before we begin, let me go over some ground rules for submitting your builds. Number 1, submissions will be open for 24 hours after this video goes live, so make sure you get your builds in. After 24 hours, submissions will close, and I will not take any more until next week. Number 2, all submissions will be deleted off of my list after I finish choosing my top 10 and make the video. So if you did not get picked, resubmit your build again if you truly believe in it. Number 3, make your builds weird. That's the name of the game. Builds that are weird and funny or are fun to play with are more likely to get picked. Number 4, only submit one build. I know people like to post builds for other people in the community to use, and I think that is great. But if you do that, at least tell me which build you want me to use. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick one at random and discard the rest. As always, my field analyst will be talking about each of this week's builds in greater detail in the video. So without further ado, let's go into the first build with number 10. Our number 10 build comes from @Zukalicious. This is a pretty good build for newer players who may not have the best recoil handling yet. The build is the Core AS Val, Barrel, Hex Spitter, Mag, PP19 Bison, Grip, Pistol, Stock, Hex Spitter, Sight, Red Dot. Take it away, Bubba. This first gun is from @Zukalicious. I chose some more guns this time around that were a little more normal and also, I wouldn't say easier to get, but guns that were pretty readily available in terms of the items. Some of these things you might have to get with weird coins, sure, but other than that, these are all very readily available. You just have to earn the stuff. So here are the stats for this gun. Here we go. And let's get into it. This gun's pretty decent. It is, maybe not the best overall, but it's pretty okay overall. It is fast firing, has okay damage, and a very fast reload if I'm not getting shot in the face. The only issue with this weapon is that the range, the damage drop-off range, is not the best, but other than that, it's, very usable, especially if you're a little more up close. Very easy to control. The recoil is pretty straight up and down. Not a lot of horizontal wobble, but it will steady out pretty quickly. This guy is just one-tapping me. I've been enjoying the build, but in terms of weirdness, it's not really that weird, which is why it's kind of number 10 on the list and not like a lot higher. If this were a little more weird, I'd probably put it up pretty high, but it's just, pretty solid AR build, and it does what it does and it gets the job done. So back to you all in the studio. Number 9. Our number 9 build is from @JustCallMeJJ. They've submitted to us a one-shot sniper build that uses a core that we don't see a lot. Just don't make it mad. The build is Core, Snake, Barrel, Heckett 2, Mag, Screwdriver, Grip, Pistol, Stock, any that adds reload speed, Sight, AUG. Spit on them like a cobra, Bubba. Our next gun from JustCallMeJJ is a one-shot sniper build that does a crap ton of damage. Here are the stats to the right here. There you go. Let's get into it. This gun is great. It is a really big one-tap sniper rifle. So if you were looking for a good one-shot, this could be for you. Great damage. It does use the Snake core, which I don't think we really see a lot of, which is kind of neat. But that's also the con. The problem with the Snake core is that I believe you can only get it with Robux, and you have to buy it from the store. So that is one of the downsides to the core. However, if you have it, it's actually pretty good for this build if you're looking for a good one-shot sniper. I will say this, that in the initial testing that I had with this gun, it definitely seemed like one of the issues that I was having was with actually hitting people at range, longer ranges that is. I don't know if there's maybe a little bit of an issue with some of the spread, or if maybe I was just missing my shots, which, let's be honest, is probably also true. This is using the screwdriver, so of course you will have to deal with reloading after every shot. However, it definitely seems like that once you make your shot, the time it takes to cycle the bolt is about the same amount of time it takes to finish reloading, which is about 4.5 seconds, I believe. We're reloading, the bolt should be cycled, and I'm good to shoot again. Thanks, I'm glad I got picked out of that whole lineup. I'm in a very, like, sweaty game, and also, once again, shots are missing. But overall, if you're looking for a good sort of medium range sniper build, this might be for you, as long as you have the snake core. So, with that being said, let's go back to the studio. Number 8 comes to us straight from @Reina Alemania. If you love the G11, this gun is for you. The build is the core M16, barrel G11, mag G11, grip G11, stock G11, sight P90. You can see where we're going here. However, they did say that if you don't have the G11 parts, you can substitute those parts with core, M16, barrel, mag, grip, and stock are the FAMAS, and the sight is still the P90. Show us the fun, Bubba. Our next gun from @Reina Alemania is pretty interesting. I liked it because of its very sci-fi futuristic look. They said here for the people who don't have the G11 parts to use the FAMAS barrel, AUG stock, the FAMAS mag, and the FAMAS grip. Now, they didn't give me a magazine in the build for this, so I just used the G11 magazine. Here are the stats here for you all. Let's get into it. This gun build's pretty good. It's pretty fun. It is fairly flat shooting. It's got a fairly fast rate of fire. Damage is just okay. And the reload is pretty good too. If I can actually hit anything. I can't hit anything. However, the damage drop off is insanely bad. You will lose so much damage at range. So this is very much a more medium range weapon. And then of course, the other con is that you have to try and get the G11 parts. So if you don't have the G11 parts from the wheel, then you're gonna have a hard time using this specific build. But I did tell you the alternatives you could use, so you can do that if you want to. But so far, this has been a pretty fun build. Maybe not the most competitive build I've ever used, but I'm here for the vibes. I like the look of it more than anything because it's got this kind of like future sci-fi sort of like almost realistic sci-fi look to it. That looks pretty cool. It looks like something I would see out of a more grounded like reality as opposed to something like super crazy that's shooting like, I don't know, like Warhammer 40k where the bolters are shooting rockets and stuff out of them. Things like that. Everybody in this lobby is using one-shot stuff. So this has been a really rough lobby to fight in. But hey, that's okay. You can't win them all, and that's okay. Back to the studio. Number 7. Number 7 comes courtesy of @Lemon Operations. We have some bad news. Unfortunately, well, I'll let my field reporter tell you, but there's been a tragedy. The build is, the core is the Type 14, the barrel is the Deagle, the mag is the UNP 40, the grip is the Circuit Judge, the sight is the Red Dot. Give us the bad news, Bubba. Our next gun is from Lemon Operations. They said it's a fun machine pistol with very nice damage shaped like a number 7, which I do agree with. However, we're about to find something out here. Here are the damage numbers here. Boom, boom, stats. Let's get into it. Unfortunately, from the time that this was submitted and the previous most recent update, this gun is no longer a machine pistol. The Type 14 is now no longer an automatic. It is single shot only. Unless they added in some sort of new toggle fire selecting mechanic that I don't know about, the gun has been changed to a single shot, and it is a very sad day because when I was doing testing, this gun was fully automatic and it was very, very fun to use because the Type 14 as a full auto was more fun than whatever the heck this nonsense is with the Type 14. I don't like the single fire thing. I think the full auto version was way, way better. We're gonna still talk about it as if it were a full auto. The pros are pretty darn decent damage. It does have a fast reload because it's a pistol, which is nice. And the, other pro is that it looks like number 7. As you can see, it's the number 7. Now, the big downside is that it does have a slow rate of fire, or at least that is until now, where it now has an even slower rate of fire. But that is not the fault of limit operations. That is the fault of a weird gun game. Oh my gosh! That is the fault of a weird gun game update. And with that sad, heartbreaking news, back to you guys in the studio. Number 6. Number 6 is from @Sanung. They were confident that their build would either be number 4 or number 6, so they got their wish. The build is Core, MP40, Barrel, PP19, Bison, Mag, M1 Carbine, Grip, NP5, Sight, Red Dot. I'll use their own words as a segue. Quote, "Send her to the battlefield, Bubbalerius TV, the 24th, please." Our next build is from @Sanung. Sanung? Here are the stats here. It is an MP40 build, and let's get into it. Do some firing. Now this one is just for fun. It's got some quirks to it that I will say you probably should know about. For instance, damage on this thing is incredibly good. Really, really good damage. Reload also really good. Wow, okay, the lag on that guy. The cons. In their words, the recoil is dog poo. And in my words, the recoil is dog poo. It's pretty rough. It is all over the place. It's sharp. As you can see, it is all the way up there, and the gun bounces like crazy. The other issue, 15 shots. That's it. You get 15 bullets, then you gotta reload, and the rate of fire is pretty low. You're gonna find yourself, even though you're not firing very quickly, you're still reloading a lot. And when you're in the middle of a firefight, you don't want to be constantly running out of ammo like that. If you are gonna play this, play your corners. Don't take any fight like sort of head on like that one, especially with a guy who has a one-shot shotgun. I mean, look at this. Like, I can get hits with it, don't get me wrong. Peek back here. Nope. There we go. But that's after figuring out the recoil for a while. Sending you back to the studio. Number 5. Number 5 comes from @FaZe Bahar. This gun seems like a sequel to a gun we showed off not too long ago that shot nothing but smoke, now in pistol form. Core is the B17, Barrel is the Blunderbuss, Mag is the Scar Drum, Grip is the Auto 5, and Sight is Red Dot. I would send it to you, Bubba, but I can't see you. Our next build from @FaZe Bahar is, well, it's something. We had the flamethrower build a few weeks ago. Here are the stats, by the way. And basically the flamethrower made tons and tons of smoke, and it was hilarious for that because it was super smoky. You couldn't see anything. Well, not to be outdone, apparently, this pistol build is quite literally designed to do just that, which is to make as much smoke as possible. So the pros of this are that it is a smoke gun, but in pistol form, which is pretty awesome. It is fast firing and it's loud. Those are the pros. And if you know, loud equals funny with this guy out. The cons for this gun are that because it is a smoke pistol, you can't see shit. And the other issue being that it is extremely low damage. You are going to pretty much use an entire magazine just to take out one person, and you're not going to really hit anything. At this range, 2 damage. So you're not doing this for the kills, you're doing this for the memes. You're not doing this for the score, you're doing this for the dreams. So if you are up close to somebody, you can kind of shred them a little bit. Once you get past a very short point, all that damage is gone. Any 5 points of damage that you were doing goes right down to 2. So you're not doing this for the kills, you're doing this for the thrills. And also because it's funny. And it's just so funny because it immediately shrouds your entire screen in smoke. And the only way that I can even see the person that I'm shooting at is because they're outlined in red. That's the only reason I can even see those guys, is because of the red outline. That's insane. It's kind of rough, but also kind of funny. Back to you in the studio. Number 4. Number 4 is from @Fallen Shape SHA4P. They have made us a one-shot sidearm build using a 1911. The build is core M1911, barrel honk, magazine M1 Garand, grip Arasaka, sight any. I can't hear anything over that horn, Bubba. Take it away. But it one-shots. From @Fallen Shaforp. That's probably sharp, but it's Shaforp. Here are the stats right here, and let's get into it. Probably not the best map for this, but the pros are that it is a one-shot. The reason that I chose this honk pistol variation is because, well, compared to some of the other builds that were suggested, a lot of those builds were deagle builds, which are one-shot, crazy good one-shots, but in this case, this one is faster than them and still one-shots. And one of the big problems with the honk barrel is that it does kill your rate of fire. And since it kills your rate of fire, it makes it harder to use. In this case, if you're within range, this gun will absolutely one-shot very easily. And it has a fairly decent reload to it, as you can see. It's not the best reload in the world. Pretty decent one shot. The cons of this build are that it is still super slow because it is the honk barrel. That is the biggest issue. The honk barrel will absolutely slow down every single gun's fire rate to basically nothing. And I will say this, it also kills your spread. Gosh, there's some massive lag here. However, if you play corners, you can actually make this one work a little bit. And that's pretty much it. Pretty fun. Back to you in the studio. Number 3. Number 3 slip slides into place from @CalamityCX. If you love hot water, this fire hydrant inspired build might be right up your alley. Core is the AUG core, barrel is the shower, mag is the scar drum, grip is the pistol, stock is the AK-12, and the sight is the valve. Bubba, there's a fire that needs to be put out. Hurry back to the studio. Our next build is from @CalamityCX. This is a fire hydrant build. Here are the stats over here for you. So this is actually a pretty fun build. It's kind of goofy and weird, but it is okay, actually. You're probably not going to be using this for like the best thing in the world, but in terms of what it is, it's very fast firing. It is basically no recoil. It has a pretty fast reload, and the majority of why you're using it is just because it's a silly build. So it's fun, it's silly, it's got some decent stats, it's usable. It's, you know, it's gonna get outshot by other things, and that's okay. The biggest issues with it are the damage and its damage range. The drop off on it's not like the best in the world, but it is, you know, it's still usable. It's not like the worst gun I've ever used. A lot of people in here really going for this whole takeover stuff, because I'm seeing real people out the hoo-ha here instead of bots like normal. Very fun. I like it a lot. I think it's a very unique and creative build, which is why I selected it, because it is weird, it's goofy, it's unique. It's, of all things for somebody to think of to feature in terms of a build, I wouldn't have ever thought a fire hydrant. I'm gonna be honest. Not the thing that I would have thought to come up with, but hey, maybe we'll have a trash can next time, or a dumpster or something that'll be really goofy and usable. Who knows? People in this game are crazy creative. And honestly, I didn't think I would like it, but as much as I'm like a big fan of the red dot sight, I actually don't mind this sight at all. I think it's pretty decent. But with that being said, we're gonna take our fire hydrant back to the studio. Number 2. Our next build is from the Emo Cat. I know I probably messed it up again in the pronunciation, but this time they have brought us a build called the Thirsty Soldier. Here are the stats here. It is an AR Super Soaker build. We're here for the memes. So we're not really here for the high damage. We're not here for whatever. The idea is that you quench your thirst while you are in battle. So you go and fight. You empty out your mag by taking out enemies. And then when you're done, you take a little drinky drink because, hey, bragging out, getting high kill streaks and kills and stuff, that's thirsty work right there, boys. The pros of this are that it has a really fast rate of fire, actually. And it's, you know, oh my gosh, it just, whoop, we're gonna just fall off the map here. It just flies through the ammo so quickly. You are not gonna keep any ammo in your gun, you little turd. The reload, also fairly decent. It's not super slow or anything. Here are the cons. The damage is pretty poo-poo. It's almost as if you are actually shooting enemies with water from a squirt gun. That's about how much damage it does. It does about a squirt gun's worth of damage. And the movement is also really slow because of, well, the intervention stock. Your movement speed's down by 10%. But if you play corners, if you play things right, you can actually make it work because you can pretty much just outshoot people and you'll quench your thirst while you do it. Anyway, back to you all in the studio. Number one. Number one is from none other than @Yargasaras. I'll let Bubba talk about the build in depth because we have a little context that needs to be shown. The build is core, blunderbuss, barrel, Lewis gun, mag, auto 5, grip, Lewis gun, stock, the and sight is the FG42, but I put the scope on it because I thought it was funny. Take out the trash, Bubba. Our number one gun from Yargasaras, called the Garbage Cleanser, the Polish artillery. They sent in a video and I'll put it up here so you can see it, and it'll be in, it'll be quiet, but this is what it's supposed to be kind of based on, I guess. They said to make it meme accurate, to make the barrel and stock giant and cover the whole core, paint it all with steel, plate, or silver, topaz. It looks like a pirate cannon. Now, unfortunately, I don't have some of those colors, so I couldn't do that. So I just made it all bronze, and here are the stats here. Let's get into it. This is something. And it's number one because it is so stupid and I love it. It is a blunderbuss. The pros are that it is one shot and, oh, we're gonna fall off because of mist. Oh, because of recoil. And the reload is hilarious because, shoot all my shots here and I'll show you the reload. This thing is insane. The recoil is crazy. Am I being, okay. All right, and here comes the reload. You flip the whole thing in, go away, and you just fill the whole front of it with crap. Go away, guys. I'm in my spawn. Holy crap, dude. It's so hard to do some of these things sometimes with people. Oh my goodness. Here comes the reload. You shove stuff down the front of it. It's so good. And now we have a working Polish artillery garbage cleanser. This thing actually is pretty cool because it does one shot, and the sight is, man, that sight is something, all right. But if you get close enough, you'll just absolutely demolish somebody because you still have the good old-fashioned blunderbuss underneath. Now, of course, you will have to deal with the reload and only having 4 shots, but if you can deal with that, then it's okay. The downsides, of course, is that in every way that you want a gun to be fast, this one is not that. It is slow across the board. The reload's awesome, relatively lengthy. The one shot is pretty good. The rate of fire, you want to be fast? Nope, it is very slow. Yeah, charge me again. I'll show you how it's done. So yeah, rate of fire, incredibly slow. You will be doing exactly what I'm doing here by playing corners and peeking those corners. So that way you can actually get your gun set up to be fired again. Like I've been showing, you'll shoot it and then all of a sudden be looking the opposite direction. But I'll tell you what, it looks incredible and it's weird as all get out. And I love that. And that is the general gist of the whole point of this show. This gun right here is one that shows the whole point of Weird Gun Game. And with that being said, back to the studio. And with that, we bring another Weird Gun Game show to a close. Thank you so much for watching. Remember the rules from the beginning of the episode when it comes to submitting your builds, and I'll see you all next time.